Food we eat and choices we make, choosing the food we eat. There are many different paths, there are many different philosophies related to food. There are many different ideologies. There are people who are religious about their food. There are people who made food their science. There are people who actually spend lots of time within their lives thinking about food. And there are the others who actually let different marketing agencies manipulate their desire for food. Food we eat and items we choose. It is very interesting to dig a little bit more within this area. It is very interesting to find out what is it that we choose to put within our bodies every single day. The first exercise within the week 1 of Art of All Element course is about writing down what is it that we eat and we drink during the day. Becoming conscious of this little thing that is food we eat during the day brings into consciousness all sorts of items that we unconsciously put within us. Bring into awareness all sorts of binging elements that each one of us has in relation to food, or brings in light our rebellion against food and negative attitude towards food, or brings in light our wish to hurry up with food and eat on the move, so we actually don't spend enough time with this element, food, because we want to hide this instinct we have, we want to hide the relationship we have with food. Whether you belong to the number of people that overeat or undereat, or the ones that just eat constantly in small amounts, we all should actually become aware of the food. First, quantity, and the second, quality of food we eat. Quantities will very often be part of our subconscious effort to relax. So lots of people use food, chewing, to relax and to actually go through into another point of the day stress-free. Some others have the attitude towards food that goes into, let's skip this meal and let's not have any food or cook, or let's just buy food items that are ready. So whatever your attitude towards food is, it is important that you become aware of it. The questionnaire we've designed with this in mind. It is your questionnaire. It is your questionnaire, and it has to reflect your attitude towards your body, your attitude towards food, your attitude towards drinking. That might actually shed some light to your habits and behaviors, that might actually bring you some insight about the amount of sugar you put into your food, or amount of salt you put into your food, or amount of soft drinks you actually take during the day. We're not aware of it. It doesn't matter what the awareness that comes will be. It doesn't matter what is your little insight. We will all come to some if we start writing down our habits and related to food. So just carry this little notebook with you all through this first week of self-development course, and write down exactly the amounts that you input into your body. Write down the amounts, and you judge the quality of the whole thing. once you become a bit more aware of food, then you start becoming a bit more aware of how damaging, for example, some items, food items could be, like white flour or milk, or milk products like heavy cheeses, or meat. So become aware of food, you start discovering that there are many different conditions that are actually connected to this overdose of meat we had during the last 20-30 years, and overdose of wheat we had, white flour, and overdose of cheese, of milk items we had in our diets. It is obvious that our bodies are not prepared for this type of nutrition. It is obvious that this has happened in the last 50 years, that we overdosed ourselves on the pasta and pizza and meat and wine and all the different items that actually cause a lot of exhaustion within the body. And once we start taking care of our digestion, nutrition of our body, we start realizing how almost each one of us is actually allergic on this white flour and refined items and canned food and additives and poisons within the food, and pesticides that are put into fruits and vegetables, etc., etc., etc. GMOs that are existing now behind our backs in almost all the different grains. So no matter what type of diet you choose to follow, it is important that you choose to consciously. So not to just swallow whatever you are eating without any understanding how that reacts within your body and how you react with this particular item of food, but to have a consciousness of how does that food item affect my emotions or my thoughts. Now, if you're a meat eater, it is interesting to observe how does eating meat reflect on your thoughts and your feelings, and how do you feel after you had a steak? Is it something that you can consciously experiment with and find out what is it that happens within you once you had a steak? Or if you're working with the items such as white flour, what happens after you had this big pizza filled with cheese? Do you feel heavy? Is your body complaining? Is it something that you should be taking care of or not? Maybe your item of food that needs to be brought into consciousness is something else. Maybe we are looking at salty things or sweet things. How many of you actually end up eating lots of ice cream because your children want that ice cream just now and they can't finish it off, so they give it to you to finish it off? How many of us eat lots of sweet because children have such a big, great urge for sweets, but they manage to exercise it off with running around, and yours stay with you, poisoning your body with extra sugar? Whether it is sugar, or it is salt, or it is meat, or it is white flour, or it is canned food and frozen food, or it is restaurant food, whatever it is within your life, just write it down during these 4 days and examine it. At the end of the day, examine it consciously and say, I think that I might be overdoing it here, or I think that it is just perfect, it is just as I thought, or I think that I should introduce a bit more of fruit and vegetables within my diet. It doesn't matter what your decision about the food items that you are inputting into your body is. What is important is that you're conscious about it, that you're aware about it. You are the one who make choices about your food items that you are gonna input into your body, and that you will become slowly aware of what does your soul say when you actually input these items. So if your body starts rebelling and if you start coming up with different allergies, your soul is actually giving you a message here saying, if you do not stop, we are going to have trouble here. Or if you're feeling completely exhausted after you had a big plate of pizza and chips or meat, you should actually ask yourself, is this the right choice? Is this particular diet right for me? Should I be taking care of it a bit more? Should I perhaps cut that sweet or that cake that I've eaten at the end, etc., etc.